Fellow Zambians, as Zambia Must Prosper, today we want to discuss a very important subject now that we are in the rainy season in 2024 running to 2025. A few months ago, as Zambia Must Prosper, we addressed this country over the plight of cholera. As Zambia Must Prosper, we brought to the fore that the PF, whilst in government, did have a master plan about how to react to epidemics such as cholera. We indicated during that time that certain things and certain protocols were ignored by the UPND government because they didn't read and study the project called reacting protocols. Today, we want to talk to the government of the UPND yet again because the rains are upon us. Those of us who know our various cities will agree with me that in Lusaka, and in Ndola, in Kitwe, in many towns on the Copper Belt, along the line of rail, Livingston, Joma, Mazabuka, including those that are out, such as far off in Solwezi, in Livingston, in Imbala, Zambezi, Chavuma, Chipata, there has been no proper drainage that the UPND government has embarked on. There has been no proper sanitation which the UPND government has embarked on. How do we plan for a rainy season and try and prevent cholera and other waterborne diseases from reoccurring year after year when we don't plan? We are appealing as Zambia Must Prosper to the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Local Government, and the Disaster Management Unit under the office of the Vice President of this country, that we cannot be just reacting unless we want our people to keep dying and we react to disaster, and unless someone, somehow, somewhere, aleswamo, alediamo, then we can agree that you want cholera to visit us. Let us be clear. We as Zambia Must Prosper have taken time and sent our youths, our women, and our members generally, who are members of Zambia Must Prosper, who participate in doing business in various areas, but especially in our markets. And the reports are very worrying. Let me give you examples so that we are clear today. Because of the load shedding of electricity, does the government know how people, for example, Pandola Premium Plaza flats, how people get rid of their waste? And I'm talking about sanitation here. I'm talking about the avoidance of waterborne diseases. You can imagine a family of, say, 5, 6 in one home, and they've only got one bathroom, one toilet. They're females and male in that home. There's a husband and a wife. How are they going to get rid of their rubbish when they need to relieve themselves? Abantu nga balefu okuya kuma toilets bachita shani, and they live on the 6th floor, on the 8th floor, on the 9th floor. This situation is the same situation and report we have received around the Muflira Council flats. The same situation we've received around the Kawata high-rise flats. Does the government of the UPND ask itself how the citizens are relieving themselves and what kind of sanitation and dangers they are posing to our people? The local government ministry, the Department of Disaster Management, under the office of the Vice President, the Ministry of Health, have been watching this situation, and now the rains are here. The last time Zambia Must Prosper complained about the cholera outbreak, the UPND was reacting and accusing us of trying to be alarmists. We are now here to say to the UPND government, let us care about our people. What have you done? Since the last time we as Zambia Must Prosper discussed the issue of waterborne diseases, the lack of proper sanitation, the lack of drainage, what have you done? You as a government have been singing about having CDF in place. What has the CDF done with regard to drainage? What have these funds, the CDF funds, done in the various constituencies in terms of water sanitation, water supply, and indeed drainages around the cities and constituencies where you say you have given funds to our people? I dare say nothing. And if you think I'm lying, the reports that have come from our people include the following: Kukanyama, Kumandevu, Kuchawama, here in Lusaka, and as far as Kwa George, Nakusoweto, Munomu Lusaka, there has been no new drainages that have been dug up to ensure that water is going to be given fresh passage and to go and be collected. We are talking about collecting our rainwater so that it doesn't go to waste. The UPND has done nothing. So do you think Kukanyama cholera tayaise, Kuchibodia cholera tayaise, Kuchawama cholera tayaise? Start thinking. We have also received reports from Maramba Market near Linda Compound in Livingston, and we have been told the situation is the same. The market there has no toilets. The Chibolia market here in Lusaka has no toilets. Soweto market here has no new toilets. And yet we have over 1 million people or so around there trading every month. How are these people living? How are they relieving themselves now that the rains are upon us? What makes you think cholera will not come again? We know that Nakadoli market is fairly a new market. But again, there are not enough toilets. Chisokone market in Kitwe, same. Not enough toilets. We know that Kabushi market in Indola is suffering for the lack of water supply, no new drainages, and no new toilets. We have been told that Chiwembala, again, Kuchingolo, ama toilets takulia yanyu. Chisokone market, mwalitoga wa UPND, but people are still trading there. So how are they going to be relieving them? How do they relieve themselves today? And where is this fecal matter going? How are we as a people going to be looking after each other year in, year after? Tule kwata fe cholera, kwata tuli mashiru, tuluwala fe fumufini. And you, as the UPND government, want to go again and open the Hero Stadium as a cholera center. Ukusakama na abantu chali wama. But mukusakama na abantu, we must be planning ahead. We want to assure the Zambians that as Zambia Must Prosper, we are always thinking ahead. And that is why we are making this appeal to the government. What have you done for our people? The high-rise flats that I've spoken about are not just in areas I've spoken about. There are many high-rise flats. Even in Kabwe, there are high-rise flats. In Livingston, there are high-rise flats. I know that in Chingola, there are high-rise flats. In Karulushi, there are high-rise flats. In Luansha, there are high-rise flats. So how does the water get pumped up when there's not electricity? It's not being pumped up. So how do people relieve themselves? This government called UPND has no plans, and it doesn't care about the livelihood and the sanitation, the drainage of our people. This cannot go on. We have said time and time again as Zambia Must Prosper, by UPND tebakwata plan. They don't want to be corrected. They don't want to be advised because kwata ile attitude, fishi. This is an appeal we are making as Zambia Must Prosper. Look after our people. What do the town and country planning departments in the various councils do? Year in, year out. What are you waiting for? We also know that in Solwezi, we have received reports. Kukia Awama market, Takwabama toilets. There's another market called Miteki market. Takwabama toilet. But the population is growing. People are involved in business, commerce and trade every day. But how are they being looked after by the various local governments in terms of sanitation, drainage? Let us not be misunderstood. We as Zambia Must Prosper are concerned about our people's health, and every life that is lost means a lot. Kuri ifewa Zambia Must Prosper. Because who live for onse mu Zambia, alikuwa tomu fiashi. Uwa mfiele. Uwa kwete life expectancy mwana udia. Those people, some of them have got wives, they've got children. They've got husbands, they've got children. But look at it from the other side. This is why we're bringing in the Ministry of Health. Is the Ministry of Health only interested in treating our people and not preventing diseases? As Zambia Must Prosper, we want to assure the Zambians that whilst in government, we'll be looking forward, planning ahead, so that we think and plan for the people of Zambia to ensure that amalwele ya moto ambo kushita avoid. Tuafunyapo kaliaka mungulu. Akakweba didionse kula pitafe machushi. Mumalwele. Waterborne diseases such as dysentery, typhoid, and cholera are preventable, They are preventable. We know from the protocols we have read, they are preventable diseases. All we have to be is hygienically clean. And this is what we want to tell the Zambians. Tampenyu kuchita plan mu 2026. Ugutamfyo bubuteko. Because ubuteko tawa mutemwa yo. Ubuntu nse mubuteko tamwaba. I have just given you a cross overview of the reports we have received thus far. And I know in some areas, like especially the northern side of Zambia, the rains have already begun. Heavily. As early as 2 weeks ago, we had a reported case of cholera. I shudder to think what's happening in Kumbuko. The Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Local Government, the Disaster Management Unit, under the Office of the Vice President, poseni kwa amani, abantu besu, balambo kulwana, kairi balambo kufwa. Tatulefuaya muisu the Heroes Stadium, mutampio kulabika mwabantu abalwele, because tuami soka ifu. Ichiwe mbachitila, ngabaku soka isuka. Ngabaku soka isuka. Uwa kwebele mfwa ya kwa nuko, mutanshi, na apita.